All right, guys, let's talk about the pack. Before we talk about the backpack, we're gonna talk about something more important, and that's your feet. So before you go spending a bunch of money on things to haul your gear around, start with the bottom up, okay? Your feet are gonna be the most important things on these long trips. I bring two, so I have these old Crispi boots. Crispi's a great brand. They have both leather and synthetic boots. I typically go with the route in between. My feet run very hot, so an all leather boot kind of makes my feet sweat. I don't run insulated boots either. But the main thing is the waterproofing and the weight of these boots. So Crispi makes very lightweight, very good waterproof boots. So I've had these for quite some time. You can see the tread's kind of worn down a little bit. I just conditioned them, which is very important for the upkeep on them. And these Lost Sportivas I've had for a couple years now. They're a little bit more aggressive. So you'll see on the bottom of these soles, typically I'm gonna run these if it's gonna be very wet conditions or if there's lots of snow on the ground. They kind of give me a little bit more traction, especially when I'm carrying around a bunch of weight. But the biggest thing here is make sure that you go in and get these fitted, right? So another important thing when you're trying on boots is inserts, right? So Sheep Feet and other brands have some really good insoles that you'll put in these boots to make that fit and feel 10 times better, and your feet are gonna thank you. So another thing that we're gonna talk about once we open the packs, this isn't in my pack, but it's something I bring in my camp gear every time I go out, and that is a first aid kit for my feet. So I'm gonna have my kinetic tape in here, Neosporin, some bandages, anything I can do to help repair my feet and get some covering on any blisters that might occur during that trip is gonna be pretty quintessential. So with that being said, start with your feet. It's gonna be important. You're gonna thank yourself later when you spend the money on some nice boots to get you going. So let's get into the pack. All right, guys, this is the pack. This is a Mystery Ranch Selway 60 liter. So we're gonna do a pack dump real quick and just go through what I carry with it. So typically on the outside, I'm gonna have my tripod strapped up. Either side, doesn't matter, but just a carbon fiber tripod and a swivel mount on top for my spotting scope, binoculars, and camera. Also on the outside, I try to keep things that I need to get to quickly. On this side, I'll either have some rain gear or in this case, some gloves, just in case. Also on my top lid, so we have a top lid pouch, and I'll keep some more important items like some accessories for the pack, 2 sets of ears in case I drop one, or if somebody I'm with needs a set of ears before a shot. So also my life straw, just in case I run out of water, gotta go find a nearby stream or water source and make sure it's filtered. And a waterproof envelope for my licenses and permits. So I can't tell you how important that is. Also bring a pen. You're gonna need that in most cases. So pen, permits, licenses, anything you need to legally be where you are. So, all right, let's open it up. Let's see. Now we have a tri-zip on this backpack. It's easy to kind of flip it over like I'm doing now and just access everything. For water, I've ran camelbacks in the past. They get kind of heavy, they're kind of sloppy, they don't stay situated on your back. I don't like them personally. What I carry, what I prefer, this is not exactly it, but is a smart water bottle. They're probably the lightest option you're gonna find that carries a good amount of water for you, at least enough to go on a couple mile hike without having to refill. So just a light plastic water bottle. And I have my trekking poles, so some lightweight trekking poles. I just started running these a couple years ago and it's been a game changer. So these are collapsible. You don't have to get, the most expensive ones. The thing is it just gets some of that weight off your shoulders and helps you with your stride and pace, and just kind of takes the wear and tear off your back a little bit as you're going. So definitely helps a lot. Highly recommend these if you're doing anything that requires, anything between like 3 to 10 miles a day. For sure, get some trekking poles. And here we go. So this is how I'm gonna carry and have carried my camera equipment around. These are Peak Design cubes. Now this particular design is discontinued, so I bought a couple of them in the past just to stock up on them, just like this. So they work perfect for me. So I can either carry, in one configuration, I can carry my R5 with my 70 to 200 perfectly, just protected as it should be. in this case, easy to get to. While on the outside, I'm gonna be carrying my A7S3 and a mic. It's not gonna be in the bag, so I don't necessarily need to bring a case for it. But if I do need to, these have little pockets, you know, just like any other camera bag. You can compartmentalize them, and I can put my film cam and a lens in there if I need to. Probably is just gonna be a bunch of batteries in my case, which is gonna be the most important part throughout the trip. So camera, this is gonna be my B cam pod, and then my A cam is gonna be on the outside, like I mentioned. So also rain gear, so definitely keep that in handy, highly important. I try to find some light rain gear. A lot of the stuff I wear is water resistant, but not waterproof. So just carrying a light rain jacket anywhere you go is gonna be important. Now, if you know it's gonna monsoon the whole time, probably bring something a little bit more durable that they make so that you can get through brush and whatnot without ruining or tearing a hole in it. So, all right, now let's get into some safety. Now, I have some of these light bags. Now, this is, I think, made by Stone Glacier or Hyperlight, I'm not sure. It's just a light bag that's waterproof, but I'll have part of my first aid kit here. So I have a tourniquet and gauze and things to stop bleeding quickly. So as you know, you're gonna be pretty far from civilization. It's important to carry first aid equipment because that's gonna save your life. There is no other option. We do have in-reaches on this backpack. I carry it at the top, but it does have an emergency feature on it where they'll send search and rescue, but it doesn't really buy you any more time, right? So carry your first aid kits with you. Bring what you need, just in case, you know, especially if you're like bow hunting, those blades are pretty sharp, right? So it's easy to get cut, and if you have something that's superficial or that's bleeding a lot, you're gonna need some proper bandages and equipment to get that to stop bleeding. So also an extra battery. So this is gonna help charge whether it's my phone or some camera gear. I'll typically bring at least one of these. More than often I'm carrying two. So this one's made by, I think, Dark Energy. Pretty good company, reputable. They're very durable. It's heavy, but the durability is gonna help. So that's what I keep. Also, I have an extra light. Now this is actually a piece of camera equipment. So this goes on the top of a camera on a shoe mount, but I found it to be bright enough that I actually carry it around next to my kill kits and everything that I'll need in case we do have an animal down and we're working with the animal at night. Like, this actually really helps make a bright scene and, you know, get your eyes acquainted and help with breaking down an animal. So I keep that with me, as well as my headlamp. So this is a rechargeable one. I bounce back and forth between something that's rechargeable and something that requires, say, like AAA batteries. I do like the AAA battery option just because it doesn't take up, you know, some of my battery storage that I need for my more important items like my GPS and my camera. So, all right, moving on. This stays in my backpack, never comes out. This is just a kill kit, has more band-aids in it, my knife to help break down, and then also some game bags. I carried both disposable and reusable game bags to help break down animals. So, then lastly, one of my favorite things is my butt pad. So this I just carry in the back up against my back plate on my backpack. Now what this is for, when you're, say, sitting down spotting or just spending some time resting, even if you're at camp, it's just gonna help you with your endurance and fatigue, right? So sitting down on a rock or sitting down on a log is fun for about all of, 5 to 10 minutes. If you got a nice butt pad, you can glass all day. It's not gonna bother you. You'll be quite comfortable, and it's just gonna help you enjoy your hunt quite a bit more. So that'll do it. That's kind of it as far as the gear I carry in my pack. That does change from time to time. Typically when we're, going pretty high up or having some long days, I might pull some things out here and there to take the weight off and just help with the fatigue in my shoulders. But this is pretty much what I'm gonna run 99% of the time. On the front of this pack is my Peak Designs quick detach. So on my film camera, when I'm hiking or using my trekking poles, I have it attached here on the front of my backpack just so it stays accessible, but it's also stowed away and I don't have to use my hands for it. So that's it. And we're gonna get into a couple other things here, such as the food we're gonna eat. So I gotta get acquainted to eating some dry food. So I'll show you how that's made, and we're gonna go through all the flavors that we picked and why we picked them. So thanks, guys.